If you can feel other people's energy, and if you view yourself as someone that's an empath or empathic, then this video is for you. And let me know in the comments below if you can relate or have any metaphysical experiences you'd like to share. I do focus on keeping a safe space here for my audience, so we can all grow and learn from each other, and that way there's a community where people can feel connected to others. Because I know when I started stepping into my metaphysical abilities that I had no one to connect with. And eventually I did find people, and they too were experiencing similar things. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 things that I've learned about my journey as an empath to help you on yours. Number 1 is understanding that we do live in a physical and metaphysical world. The physical and the metaphysical are around us at all times, together, simultaneously. I recently discovered this textbook definition of physicality, of what an empath is. And that definition and label is someone who is hypervigilant or hypervigilancy, right? And that means someone who has a heightened awareness to their surroundings due to traumas of the past or PTSD, and they're constantly in tune trying to find out, how can I be safe? Am I safe here? I'm going to make sure, am I safe from abuse, and making sure like there's maybe an exit way out. And I'm not a psychologist or anything. I do understand this though, because I was abused growing up. I never was worried about other people hurting me. I was always in tune with with my dad, who was the abuser. That I understood, because I'm not talking about this like PTSD type hypervigilancy triggers. I'm talking about the actual energy of metaphysical feelings that you can feel from other people, and this comes from the activation of your third eye. And yeah, typically empaths are created through pressure cookers, from having dysfunctional families and abuse, which I can see how hypervigilancy and someone who can sense energy and is tuning in to others to feel safe has a similar role together. However, if you can feel energy, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not denying that there are a physical attribute of people who actually do have some sort of trauma and a disorder of some kind. And I'm not here to medically diagnose anybody. I'm not a medical professional, okay? So here's my own story on this. Once I stepped into being and understanding I'm an empath, and yes, a lot of things came from trauma. I also learned that I eventually became a people pleaser, because a lot of the times, in the same way, empaths do seek safety from other people, or they try to get their needs met by being a people pleaser. And if I do this for you, I'm going to be worthy and valuable. And then not as traumatic as abuse, more of finding a way to get your needs met from that worthiness wound from others by doing things you don't want to do at the expense of yourself. So now we'll get into that a little bit more. That one's closer to number 3. However, there was this one time I went to an EDM show, and I walked in, with the group, and as I was walked by tons of people, and then everybody decided they wanted to go to the bar, and then I was there because I was going to get a little tequila shot. And as I was waiting in line, these 2 tall, beautiful women came by behind me, and then something started the conversation where they said something to me, and then after that, one of them said, and this might have been it, they were like, I felt your energy as you walked by. And then I'm like, empath, right? So we connected a little bit off of that. And this person genuinely felt it in her body as I walked by. And yeah, I was vibing pretty hard. So I was feeling pretty good and excited. And I do emit my natural frequency. And for those who are in tune to that, can feel it. I can also walk into a room, and without having to look at the physical cues, I can sense and feel how people are feeling. So there is an actual metaphysical part to this. And a lot of empaths end up being drained or burnt out. However, you also have to understand that the energy you give is a choice, whether if it's physical or metaphysical. It's what you believe to be true about your reality that then you either give energy away or don't. There is once you reach that level of understanding energy, you don't actually have to give away your energy. And you can call your power and energy back at any time. You can take an empath salt bath, Epsom salt bath, and, revitalize and rejuvenate yourself. And those are great, by the way. There's many ways to protect your energy as an empath. The biggest key is understanding that you're in control of your energy. And everything in our world is either physical or vibratory exchange of energy, even currency. It's just an exchange of energy. So this goes towards number 2, is feeling safe within yourself. Knowing that you can feel safe, whether if you're hypervigilant or you're an empath that feels energy, because you're tuning into others constantly. It's in the process, especially from growing up, from that abandonment, we end up abandoning ourselves because we're tuning into others and focusing on how others feel rather than ourselves. So it's time to start focusing on yourself and being in your own frame and knowing to choose what's best for you. And when it's time, when you have enough energy to give, or it's time to rest and recover. Now, I've never experienced this like hypervigilancy where I'm always constantly alert and in fear of something bad happening. It's more of, again, an energetic exchange. And yeah, sometimes I feel drained, tired after talking to people or people that I'm giving too much energy to. And I may have not even talked to them. I could have just had a small thing and it's like, whoa, you can feel their energy. And like as an empath, you want to give them, you want to brighten people up. Well, here's the key to protecting your energy and being in your own frame is you're naturally going to do that. If you view yourself as a light worker or whatever, you naturally do that. You're also here to have this human experience. You don't need to try so hard to uplift others. You're naturally going to do that just by being you. Your vibration will literally shift. Now, the other thing is, your reality, your external reality is only a reflection of who you are being and what you believe to be true of your reality. Now, this goes into a lot of the teachings from Bashar, the channelings. However, I want to stay focused on being an empath, kind of help guide you on your journey. Get in your own frame, don't abandon yourself, and choose what's best for you versus other. So remember to take care of you. You too are in this human body. Time to take care of yourself and your energy. Number 3, knowing these 1 and 2 parts, you have the metaphysical, physical, and I'm mainly focusing on the metaphysical. But now we're going to get a little bit of the physical attributes as well with the metaphysical. I'm going to talk about people pleasing. People pleasing is the trauma of that worthiness wound. That if I do this for you, I'm going to be worthy, you're going to like me. And I found myself to be a people pleaser for a very long time. And then I also found out that in doing so and giving out my energy, I was actually seeking validation and approval from others. And until I figured that out, everything started to shift. Not only was I able to start getting into my own frame and understanding that I'm doing this for a subconscious reason that I wasn't even aware of. Because I have a wound of worthiness that if somebody calls me and I'm tired and like, hey, can you help me move? That I'd be like, oh yeah, sure thing. Because I wanted to keep the friend or not. And the thing you got to realize is if you say no to someone, which is setting a boundary, and you're protecting your energy physically, when you say no, guess what? That's their shit to deal with after that. They may be disappointed by your choice. And I once had somebody that asked me to help them with something, and for the first time ever, I told this person no. Because for once I chose myself and I was really vibing. I think I was doing like an art piece or something, maybe music. And I told this person no, and he looked at me and he's like, you only get to tell me so many no's. And I felt so guilty and like ashamed for choosing myself. And the reality is like, why would you tell me that? Why would this person say that to me to basically manipulate me into thinking if I tell you no and choose myself, you're not going to be my friend anymore? What a narcissistic thing to tell me, instead of accepting me as your friend and saying, oh, okay, yeah, no worries. Or if I go to someone and I ask them, can you assist me with this? Can I have some help? They tell me no. That's okay. I'm strong enough in my frame to understand, great, they have whatever they have going on. This is an opportunity for me to figure out how I'm going to do this in a different way. The journey is always going, with or without the people, but I'm not going to sit here and make you feel bad or tell you, you only get to tell me so many no's before I don't want to be your friend anymore. Like, that's messed up. So this also helps you kind of identify narcissistic people who use and abuse you because they want to drain your energy and they want to take and take, and they know exactly what they're doing. They know you have this worthiness wound and you're going to people please to the end of the earth until you finally become aware that you're subconsciously doing this. And when you do, and you start to pull your energy away and you start to change because you're starting to choose yourself, people don't like that. They don't like when you change, especially people who don't actually have the best interest at hand for you. So that's going to be a really good indicator of who's no longer serving you anymore. And that is the indicator that they have served their purpose to have you recognize, like, why am I always burning out? Why am I always giving out so much energy? And finally, you come to the awareness that subconsciously you're giving too much. Now, I'm not saying stop being kind and helping others because you only want to choose yourself. You have to take care of yourself and be of service of yourself first before you can be of service to others. If you're not happy, you're not going to make anybody else happy. And you're only going to lead down the snowball effect of being more unhappy. And the real people that care about you want you to be happy because they can take care of themselves and so can you. All right? So it's important to understand the payout that you're getting as an empath. Now that you understand the metaphysical parts of it, but also this physical part of doing too much and not being in your own frame and choosing yourself when the time is for it. Okay? I hope this helped you. Let me know in the comments. If it does, hit that notification button to be notified when more of my content comes out. And hit that like bell button or whatever so that way you can like really know. Love and light vibration out. Have a wonderful, magnificent, transformative, alchemizing day, cosmic soul. All right, bye.